I was recently planning for a road trip across the American Southwest. Already having some destinations in mind, I thought I'd do one last look at some maps and Google Earth to see if there might be something I was missing. Nothing looked particularly interesting until I found this area. This place looked bizarre. It looked rugged. I was intrigued. It's no secret that this region has fostered ancient civilizations and cultures who have left their mark upon the land. I wondered, had they left evidence upon this strange and desolate landscape as well? I decided to backpack in and find out. Hey everybody, it's Andrew from Desert Drifter. Thanks for tuning in. So I just pulled into where I'm going to be leaving the car. And I laid out my gear to make sure I've got everything. I'm trying to travel with as little gear as possible, largely because there's not going to be any water in there. So I get the joy of carrying about 2 gallons of water for the next 2 days. Well, it's definitely not light, but the good news is it'll get lighter as the trip goes on. And given what I'm already seeing here at the start, I think we're in for a pretty unique, special trip. As I ventured in, I contemplated the oral histories and legends I've heard about these places. The stories say spirits come and go. Ancestors remain frozen in stone, and mysterious creatures still live within. I wondered if any of it was true. So if you're wondering, is there a goal or a destination in mind? Absolutely not. I am literally just wandering the next 2 days, seeing what I might find in a landscape this bizarre. What is going on here? Then you walk around. It's like a gigantic flower. Look what's holding this thing up. You got, so just, I know scale's hard in the camera, but so, 4 fingers width. And there's a little more over here. But I mean, that's a big old chunk of sandstone. Out here in the desert, you see a lot where there's like a softer layer of rock. I think this is like a shale or mudstone, kind of same thing. And then you've got a harder layer on top. So that erodes at a slower speed than what's below it. From a distance, I was trying to figure out, like, what is this? Is it sand? Is it rock? So over there I just spotted, I think that's some petrified wood. Let's go take a look at that. Yep, that's definitely what it is. It's kind of crazy. I mean, look at it. Looks like a sawmill out here. All these little pieces on the ground. Listen to the sound of it. It was wood, now it's rock. This piece is particularly cool. Pretty sure those are still the growth rings in there that you can kind of make out. So amongst all this petrified wood, I just noticed, look at all these little teeny tiny plants coming up. I know that scale is basically impossible to tell just from a video. So to give you guys, I mean, take a look at that. Like it's not even half of a fingernail. I traveled in deeper, amazed at the stark contrast between complete desolation and surreal beauty. It seemed to be a land of some extinct race of giants who had left their debris and bones scattered about. Eventually I climbed a slight ridge and found myself surrounded nearly 360 degrees by a legion of hoodoos. I had to admit, I felt like they were staring at me, watching my every move. Perhaps the legends were correct after all. Or it's very possible I've just been spending too much time alone out in the desert. One thing I often think about when I'm out in these kind of bizarre landscapes is, how have people explained these landscapes over the centuries and millennia? I mean, the most common way today we would explain this in our modern world is in geological terms and using geological language and time scales and all of that. But there's a lot of different ways to think about this, and I'm sure people have thought about it in many different ways over the years. I don't know. What do you guys think? How did all this come to be? Now that is a dinosaur if I've ever seen one. So he's just about, honestly, a little taller than me. So, 6.5 feet tall. Wow, look at this. You got this long petrified wood log. I'd say probably close to 40 feet long. Some of it's still entombed in this rock around it, so it's like a tunnel through it. Listen to how metallic this is. To give you an idea of what walking on some of this stuff's like, it's almost like, I don't know why I keep thinking this might be a terrible analogy, but it reminds me like if you just had a big bowl of cereal, like some kind of granola, and then you were just walking across it. That's kind of like what it is. Wow. I was just admiring this huge channel that cuts through here. Dang, I just missed it. There were literally 2 owls that took off from like here and they flew there, and I just couldn't get the camera back up and on. That was wild. 2 of them. On a recent trip, I spotted an owl who seemingly alerted me to the presence of an amazing panel of ancient petroglyphs. Thinking these owls may be onto the same thing, I decided to slide down the slope after them. I went up hills, down hills, and around hills. And eventually realized I was even more in the middle of nowhere than when I started. Not that you can really be lost when there's no destination in mind, but I'm beginning to think that coming up here on this ridge was a bad idea. I mean, it's just an endless maze of ravines and steep drops. I think I want to get back over where it was lower. It was easier to travel. This time the owls seemed more inclined to kill me rather than lead me to something special. 1 for 2 on the owl guidance. That is a welcome relief. Huh. Kind of an odd formation. I think some of this is coal back in here. See the black shiny rock? I think we're going to run out of sun before long, so I'd say this is as good a spot as any. It comes complete with a perfect bench. Kind of looks like a skull, doesn't it? Well, I don't really know what else to do, but maybe go up on one of these hills and watch the sunset. Pretty wild. Just cowboy camping tonight. Cowboy camping so much in the desert is probably why I've had to patch this pad 10 times. But it's still alive for the time being. Pretty surreal spot, huh? Well, I'm gonna go over back to my table bench, get some dinner going. Just gonna saute up some veggies. Yeah, pretty simple meal tonight. I guess you could call it like a taco bowl. Just got some minute rice, some refried dehydrated beans. Good thing I'm out here by myself, if you know what I mean. A little chicken, and I just sauteed up a bunch of veggies. And then top it off with, this is like a, I don't know, like a taco sauce I bought at the grocery store. Put it in that little thing. Nothing too fancy tonight. The dying light in the western sky. The stars are really starting to come out. I might try to do some astrophotography because they are epic tonight. Good morning. Moon's rising with the sun. on the move again. So I packed up camp as quick as I could because I was really cold. I wanted to build up some body heat, but the main reason was I want to try to get the morning light on some of these features because, you know, the morning light and the evening light are by far the best. Pretty amazing. The land of the giants continued to amaze. It's hard to imagine being able to ever explore this entire region. It still had a few more surprises for me, but I did wonder how many more secrets were still out there waiting to be discovered. I think we've got some more petrified wood over here. This stuff is so cool. There's a national park in Arizona called Petrified Forest National Park, and they've got tons of petrified wood there. It's a really cool stop if you ever get the chance. This looks like it would have been the base of it, you know, possibly the roots would have come off that way. The tree carried on up there. There's some more broken pieces of it. This area has a lot of it. There's a big log. Hey there, Raven. One of the smartest creatures out here, no joke. More green life out here. My fingers to give scale. Well guys, what a trip. I've been slowly working my way back to where I left the vehicle. So given the water situation and how it's warming up, I think I'm gonna put the camera away and just start hightailing it back in that direction. Hope you guys enjoyed these last couple days. It's a wild and unique place for sure. I've got some places this spring and summer that I'm pretty excited to film in. So if you haven't already hit subscribe, you want to keep exploring the Southwest with me, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.